Okay. Meanwhile, the chairman of the River State Honors Advisory Committee, Ferdinand Alabrabra, says the law empowers the governor to confer honor on those who have contributed to the growth and development of the state. In the meantime, a PDP chieftain in HA local government area of River State, Nnamdi Okere, has hailed Governor Nyesom Wike for his choice of recipients of the state honors. Mr. Okere, in an interview, congratulated elder statesman Ima Ayawu and the PDP House of Representatives candidate for HA Omuma Federal Constituency, Kelechi Wogo. He said the honor is a reward for loyalty and commitment to the present administration.
I'm happy that the governor of River State has deemed fit to reward and appreciate all men who stood by him 2015 % of governorship goal. In Echi and Amuma, Kelechi Wogu, as young as he is, played a pivotal role in the emergence of the governor then. He's not only among the famous 5 assemblymen who stuck their neck, he's also a leader of the AGA. Back here in Echi, Prince Emmanuel, like Nostradamus, he was clear where he was headed to. He stood by His Excellency, Governor Nyesom Wike, then Minister of State, Minister of Education, and galvanized support for his emergence as the governor of River State.
Mr. Okere, who is also a former chairman of HA local government, said with the recognition, the people of HA have recommitted themselves to working for the victory of PDP candidates in River State in the 2023 elections.
In River State today, the issue of winner takes all is gone and gone forever. It's only in the administration of Nyesom Wike that we see the MPs becoming governors, becoming local government chairmen, becoming commissioners, and ascending to the exalted folds of Senate. That shows you that it's a new political culture in River State. And I'm sure all of us are learning, and we shall stay such magnanimity when the opportunity calls. I appreciate these men, and I feel that the governor has done the right thing. We shall do all in our powers by voting all candidates of PDP in River State.
Moving on, the Accord in River State says the party agrees with the federal government's position that state governors are responsible for the poverty across the states of the federation. In a statement, the Director Media and Communication of the Dumolulu Briggs Governorship Campaign Council, Sotonye Ujuye Dagogo, said the emphasis on brick and mortar development has left the vast majority of Rivers people in penury. Mr. Ijuye Dagogo said it is more worrying that the Rivers State governor is spending a lot of money commissioning these projects. He assured Rivers people that the agenda of the Accord Party is tailored to balance the people's well-being with infrastructural development. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Governors Forum is accusing the federal government of abandoning its duty of addressing the security challenges, which they said is crippling economic activities in the country. The forum's spokesperson, Abdul Razak Bello Bakindo, said this in a statement while reacting to the claim by the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, that the governors are responsible for the rising poverty index in the country. The forum argued that the governors made progress in their states through relevant projects. It said the rising level of poverty among Nigerians is a consequence of the effect of insecurity in commercial and agricultural activities. They also alleged that the federal government's inaction has allowed bandits, insurgents, and kidnappers to turn the country into a killing field. In another development, the Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Oru West local government area of Imo State was attacked yesterday. The National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disclosed this in a statement. APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu is to speak on his agenda for Nigeria at the Royal Institute of International Affairs, also known as Chatham House, in London today. It comes 7 years after President Muhammadu Buhari addressed Chatham House as APC presidential candidate. Mr. Tinubu is expected to speak on security, economy, and foreign policy at the United Kingdom's elite foreign and policy think tank institution. Some lawyers have set up another professional association of lawyers known as the Law Society of Nigeria, thereby splitting the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA). According to its promoters, the association is led by Kunle Ogungba, a senior advocate of Nigeria. It is said to have been formed to break the monopoly of the NBA, which has been the sole umbrella body for the legal profession in Nigeria since 1933. It has Ogungba as its president, Honorable Nini Walsin-Jack as the vice president, and Abdul Kader Alaji Sani as the secretary. Still ahead, candlelight session expected to hold in honor of late social media influencer. Stay tuned. We go for a quick break. Thank you for staying tuned. Welcome back now to the rest of the newscast. Chairman of Abua Odwa Local Government Area, Daniel E.O. Daniel, says new buses for the Aboga Mass Transit will begin operations from Thursday. The chairman said this while setting up an interim 5-man management committee to manage the transport company before a board is set up to take over. The committee is headed by the supervisor for works, Zinami Iwariso. Other members include Dugo Pelini Obom, Emeram Fumilayo Obu, D. Gobo George, and Iyebierele Mac. In a statement, he urged the public to cooperate with the committee for effective service delivery. The statement also said an office has been opened in Port Harcourt and Abua Motor Parks, and transport fare from Port Harcourt to the council and from the council to Port Harcourt will now cost 1,000 naira. As the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence ends in 5 days, stakeholders in River State are still discussing how to curb the violence against the girl child and women. Our correspondent spoke with the coordinator of the National Human Rights Commission River State, Chinwe Okoruchi, who called on women and girls dealing with any form of abuse to speak up. She urged non-governmental organizations to join their voices with them to create more awareness in the society. Other stakeholders drawn from different non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations in the state spoke on other measures that can help end gender-based violence. As you may know, the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence is an annual international campaign that kicks off on the 25th of November, which is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, and runs until 10th December, which is the Human Rights Day. This year's theme is Unite. activism to end violence against women and girls. It invites everyone to play their role in ending violence against women and girls, show support and solidarity to women's rights activists, and to resist the rollback on women's rights. We will go for another quick break. When we come back, the rest of the news. Stay tuned. Welcome back now to the rest of the bulletin. Barring any last-minute changes, a candlelight session is expected to be held today in honor of the Port Harcourt social media influencer Yemi the Plug, who died on Tuesday last week. His colleagues are putting the session together at the Edis Wine Bar later today. This is as an autopsy is to be carried out on him. Recalled at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH, where he was taken shortly after an asthma attack, had said he was brought in dead. His friends disagree with this. The hospital promised to probe the incident. The 24-year-old was the only son of his mother, who is also a staff of UPTH. His family has asked for time to grieve.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
On the foreign scene, Iran's Attorney General Mohammad Jafar Montazeri says the country's morality police, which is tasked with enforcing the country's Islamic dress code, is being disbanded. Mr. Montazeri said this at an event on Sunday. Iran has seen months of protests over the death of a young woman in custody. Mahsa Amini was detained by the morality police for allegedly breaking strict rules on head coverings. On the news this morning, you had reactions at trailing Governor Wike's conferment of state honors on 162 Nigerians. Governors have tackled the federal government for blaming the country's poverty on them. Another INEC office has been set ablaze in Imo State. A candlelight session is expected to be held in Port Harcourt later today in honor of late social media influencer Yemi the Plug, who died last week. On the foreign scene, Iran is to disband their morality police amid ongoing protests. The news was edited by Chema Zewafo. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this morning. Collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. Good morning.